welcome back to class of Product Development and Entrepreneurship. I am Hitesh Sayani, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is lecture 29. Financial Plan. The learning outcomes of these lectures is to learn performa income statement, performa cash flow, performa balance sheet, and the break-even analysis. So in these lectures we learn these all things. Let's we start our lecture with performa income statement. So what is performa income statement? So performa income statements means how the adjusted income statement will look. So it is nothing but the performa profit and loss. So here I shows the performa income statements of MPP plastic companies for the first year by months, and all the values of in this performa income statements is in thousands of dollars. So here if you look at the performa income statement, there are the first row is the sales of particular companies in month wise. So in January there are the $20,000 sale of $20,000. February there are $32,000. So in respectively months you can see the figures in thousands of dollars. And if you look at the total sales, there are 970. So and if you consider the cost of good sold, here the cost of good is mentioned. And so gross profit, if you consider, there are the gross profit like 10, 16, 24 and so on 65 respectively to the month of January to December. So these are the gross profit which are done from the sales of particular products. And if you consider the operating expenses like salaries, rent, utilities, advertise, sales expenses, insurance, payroll tax, etc. This is considered in operating expense. So if you look at, there are the operating expense in different categories, and after putting the all the expenses regarding respect to salaries, rent, utilities, advertisements, etc., you will get the total operating expense is here in bottom. You can see that in the performa income statement. The total operating expense in the month of Jan, that is 47.4. So if you make the summations of all the operating expense, then you will get the 47.4 thousands of dollars. And respectively is the month, you can see that there are the total operating expense. And if you look at the December, there are the $55,000 total operating expenses. So if you look at it, so if you summing the whole the month total operating expense, you will get the $636.3 thousand of operating cost or operating expense. So here if you look at the gross profit columns, gross profit row, in total gross profit there are the $485,000, and if you consider the total operating expense, there are the $636.3 thousand. So here the total operating expense is greater than the total profit. So in these terms, if you look at the last columns of gross profit, there are the $151.3 thousand. There are nothing but the loss in first years. So bracket figure shows the loss in particular situation. So in gross profit, there are the total gross profit, there are the $151.3 thousand in bracket. So that means the in first year company has to loss of 151.3 thousand dollars. So this is nothing but the performa income statements, and this shows the performa profit and loss. So based on the first year's performa income statements, you can also predict or forecast for the year 2 and year 3. So based on the considering the data of the first year, here I considering the same data which is shown in previous slides in performa income statements, that I consider it, and you can see that there are net profit 151.3 in brackets, so that means the loss of 151.3 thousand dollars. So if you look at the particular cost or particular expenses in terms of percentage, here also shows the percentage column. So based on the performance of first year's, the forecasting is done for the year 2 and year 3. And here I shows the whole data which is forecasted from the base of the first year. So if you consider the base as a first year's data, and from using the first year data, you can predict the second year's and third year data. As here I shows the predictions of data in second years and third years from the same companies, MPP Plastics. So here you can see that at the end of the year 2, there are the total operating expense is equal to 615.3 thousand dollars, and the gross profit, if you consider, there are the 632,000 dollars. So ultimately there are the 16.3 thousand dollars profit. So here 16.3 thousand dollar profit is occurs, or profit is forecasted based on the first year. So here the gross profit I mentioned there are the star. So star means what? That this profit is cumulated, or this profit is considered for the loss in year 1. So based on that, second year's the forecasting of year 3 is done, and you can see that in the year 3 the gross profit is 127.9, and the gross profit is 798. So if you look at the difference of operating expense, and if you look at the gross profit and gross gross profit and total operating expense, there are the gross profit is 127.9. So you will get the profit of 127.9 at the end of year 3. So this is nothing but the forecasting of data from the year 1 to year 3. So next is the performa cash flow. So here I show the performa cash flow of MPP Plastics in terms of thousands of dollars in first year by month. So here you can see that there are the sales and total expenses, or total disbursement, or the sales disbursement. So here in January there are the $12,000 sales disbursement, and if you look at the total disbursement, there are the 126.4. So if you look at the cash flow is what? It is nothing but the difference of actual cash receipt and cash payment. So in this case, our case, actual cash receipt is nothing but the sales, and if you look at the cash payment, then it is nothing but the total total disbursement. So if you look at the difference between these two, you will get the cash flow, that is 114.4, and the beginning balance is $300,000. So at the end of the first month, there are the ending balance is 185.6. So in this way, the cash flow is mentioned month by month, and you can see here from January to December, there are the mentioned the cash flows in terms of $1,000. And if you look at the last month, that is December, in this December you will get the cash flow of $11,000. So beginning balance of this month is $30,500. So at the end of the December or end of the 1 year or first year, you have a balance that is 41.5. So this is nothing but the cash flow. So here I shows the next is the performa balance sheet. So what is performa balance sheet? So performa balance sheet is nothing but the positions of business at the end of the year. So it reflects what is the positions of business at the end of the year. So from performa balance sheet, you can identify the positions of business. It summarizes the asset, liabilities, and net worth of the entrepreneurs. So here I show the performa balance sheet, in which you can see that if you consider the asset portion, there are the current asset of 41.5, and account receipt is 52, and inventory there are 1.2. So if you look at if you summarize summations of these three, will get the total current assets, that is the 94.7. And if you look at the fixed asset, there are the equipment in fixed asset. The worth of equipment is $72,000. And if you consider the less depreciation, then there are the 14.4. So if you make the difference of these two, you will get the total asset in terms of $57.6 thousand. So here the total fixed asset is 57.6, and if you look at the total current asset, that is 94.7. So total asset is 152.3. And if you look at the liabilities and owners equity, so here current liabilities that is account payable, that is 30. So total liability is 30, and owners equity, here are mentioned the three owners, and owners equity is 100, 100 and 100, and retaining the earnings by the owners is 160.7. So total owners equity is the 300 minus 160.7, so you will get the 139.3. So total liabilities and owners equity, here the total owner equity is 139.3, and total liability is 30. So if you make the summation of these two, you will get the total liability and owners equity, that is 152.3. So this is nothing but the balance sheet which shows or reflects the positions of business at the end of the year. Next is the break-even analysis. So whenever you start your business or new ventures, the main thing is after how much times you will get the profit. So every entrepreneur must accept to know after how much period he or she will get the profit. So this break-even analysis is helpful to analyze after how much period of the business they will get the profit. So break-even analysis is nothing but the process to analyze the after how much period profit will achieve, or how much the quantity will sell. So we will get the break-even points. So break-even points is nothing but the no profit, no loss points. So at which stage, at this stage, there are no profit and no loss. So total revolutions and total cost of the products both are the same. So the break-even formulas here I mentioned, that is break-even quantity is equal to T total fixed cost divided by selling price minus variable cost per unit. Here the BEQ is equal to break-even quantities, TFC is the total fixed cost, SP is the selling price, and VC by unit means variable cost per unit. So in this formula, from these formulas, you can calculate the after. So how much the unit you must have to solve to get the break-even point. These are the here I shows the determinations of the break-even formulas. As per the definitions of break-even points or break-even analysis, there are the total revolution, total revenue is equal to the total cost. So TR is equal to TC, and if you look at the total revolution, total revenue, that is nothing but the selling price into the quantity, and total cost is the fixed cost plus variable cost, and total variable cost is nothing but the volume variable cost per unit into the quantity. So you will get the finally break even quantity Q is equal to TFC divided by SP minus VC per unit. So this is the break even quantity formulas. So this is the break-even formulas. From these formulas, you can analyze or you can identify the how much the product must be sell to get the break-even points. Next is our break-even analysis chart. So here I show the graphical represent of the break-even analysis of particular companies, in which you can see that here the horizontal black line shows the fixed cost, and there are the two blue lines which shows the total revenue and total cost. So whenever these two line is cross to each other, that is nothing but the break-even points, and this point you have to achieve no profit, no loss condition. So from this chart, you can say that after 320 thousands of unit, you a company gets the break-even point. So after selling of 320 thousands of unit, company will get the profit or gain the profit. In our next lectures, we will learn the issue related to product development and entrepreneurship. Thank you.